Hello fam bam, I want to do another favorites video, but my favorite things you can get on Amazon. Today's is going to be all about the kitchen and my favorite kitchen things that are on Amazon. These are on other places as well. I just got pretty much everything from Amazon, and everything I'm going to tell you about today are all things that make your life easier when it comes to baking and cooking and all that jazz. I personally am a huge fan of baking. I love to bake and I like to cook as well, but I find that when it comes to cooking, the easier, the better. I like having really good food, but I like simplicity when I can do it. Some of these products are things that blow my mind because they make life easier, but at the same time, they will completely elevate your cooking to like next level master chef amazingness without adding any extra effort. So let me talk about it. The first thing I want to talk about is the KitchenAid. A lot of you have probably heard of the KitchenAid. It's a very well-known appliance, but it's by far my favorite thing that I own in my kitchen, by far. The KitchenAid is definitely not an inexpensive item. It is definitely an investment. I think it's totally worth it. It comes in a billion different colors. Mine isn't a really beautiful, you guessed it, teal shade. It's also really sparkly. It's their like designer edition or whatever. I mean, I even use the KitchenAid to shred chicken. If you put chicken that you've boiled or cooked, whatever, and you want to shred it, you could just put it in the KitchenAid and then turn it on with the paddle attachment and it will shred it without any effort at all. Mashed potatoes, whipped cream, like anything, it's amazing. So it's by far best investment that I can think of for a kitchen, no matter what kind of cooking you do. And they have so many different attachments too. My parents have an attachment where you can make pasta. They have a meat grinder attachment. I have one that cuts it cuts vegetables into like zoodles, into like noodles. I have an ice cream maker for it. It's like an all-in-one workhouse. It's awesome. Put it on the wedding registry, save up for it. Amazon or even Bed Bath & Beyond, you can get that 20% off. It's just great. It's so good. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is called a Sous Vide. I have talked about a Sous Vide in a video a really long time ago, but I want to bring it up again because we've been using it a lot lately to make the best, I'm telling you, the best filet mignon I've ever had. The best steak I've ever had, and it is literally the easiest thing ever. Sous vide is basically water cooking, water bath cooking. You place the sous vide in a container full of water and it will get the water up to whatever temperature you set it to, and then it circulates the water so that the entire pot of water is all the same temperature. There's no cold spots, there's no hot spot, all of it is exactly the same. So it will cause your food to cook incredibly evenly without overcooking or undercooking. It gets it to the exact temperature. This is a game changer when it comes to chicken breast. So if you're trying to get healthy like I am, chicken breast, when you think about just plain chicken breast, it's one of those things where you just kind of like, great, chicken. But I'm telling you, the other day I made chicken breast, just this kind straight from Costco, those giant chicken breasts, and I just put on spices, some fresh sage into the bag, sealed it up, put it into my cooker and let it cook at 145 degrees for I think 2 hours. That's the only downside, I guess, to a sous vide, is that it does take longer than your normal like in the oven cooking, but you can't mess it up. You can let it go in for the minimum amount of time or for a lot longer. It's not gonna overcook. Think of it like slow cooker kind of, in the sense that it takes longer, but it's a lot less effort. So just even plain chicken breast in the sous vide tastes so much better than any other way I've ever had it cooked. You can elevate it. This is what we do with steak too, is we cook the steak in the sous vide. It's medium rare all throughout. There's no band around it. There's no like gray band. It's completely from edge to edge. And then you put it in a cast iron pan for a couple, like for maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds on each side to give it that yummy crust. People will think that Gordon Ramsay himself came into your kitchen and cooked you this amazing meal. Literally the only effort you're doing is putting the food into a vacuum seal bag or a Ziploc bag, putting it into the water, and that's it. That's all you're doing. I can't speak highly enough about it. I love it. I love it. We used a food saver as well for our sous vide. This actually comes in really handy if you like to meal prep or if you like to do freezer prep. We'll buy Costco chicken, for example, chicken breast, and then we have the food saver that is the vacuum sealer that seals the food off to keep it fresh. So we'll do different marinades or different spices, put the meat in there, vacuum seal it, and then freeze it. And that way, whenever we want to make something, we don't have to worry about prepping it. We literally can take it out of the freezer, put it in the sous vide. It can cook it right from frozen. You just add more time, and that's it. And there's no mess. And you can do sous vide with meat, you can do it with vegetables, you can do it for like the most perfect poached eggs inside of the shell. Like, what? Oh my God. The next thing on this list is another time saver, an amazing thing, and it's become wildly popular lately, which is so cool, and that is the Instant Pot. The Instant Pot is such a cool thing. You can saute, you can slow cook, you can pressure cook, you can make yogurt. What? You can make cheesecake in this thing? Again, what? If you're making chicken or if you're making rice or if you're making potatoes, anything, it cuts the cooking time to basically half, if that. Like a stew, a soup, all those things that take a long time to kind of meld together to cook, the time is cut in half with the Instant Pot. And it's a pressure cooker, which if you've ever seen a manual pressure cooker, those can be a little bit scary. I'm like terrified of them because there's so many variables that can happen that can cause literally the pot to explode. I remember seeing a picture on Reddit once where it was someone who was using a manual regular pressure cooker and something went wrong. The lid of the pressure cooker was pressurized off of the pot and it was stuck in the ceiling, and like the microwave was taken out. It was no good. But with this one, because it is an electronic pressure cooker, that can't happen because you literally cannot open the pot until it's depressurized and everything is good. I love it. The cost on it is incredibly reasonable for what you get. You can find this on sale a lot of the times between $60 and $100. And it's something that I think every new household, especially if you're moving out for the first time, this is something that everyone should have. It doesn't take up a ton of room. I mean, it's not small, but it has so many different uses that every kitchen will get use out of it. Also great if you make tamales at Christmas time like we do, because that's so good. Another thing that I love is my cold brew little mason jar contraption. I know a lot of you guys have started using cold brew the way that I do. You make cold brew in your mason jar and it's phenomenal. It's so easy. I went to Starbucks the other day and got a cold brew for the first time in a long time, and it cost $4 for a cold brew with cream and sugar. I think it's $7 for a pack of coffee, a thing of coffee. And that lasts for maybe a month. I think half of one is one batch of cold brew, so maybe a month. Put a little annotation card thingy right here to my cold brew video so you can see exactly how I go about making cold brew. But if you like coffee, especially cold coffee, you can make it hot too. You can warm it up like in the microwave. But especially cold coffee, you gotta watch that, and I will save you so much money. So much money, I promise. Another thing I use a lot is my food processor. I have two. I know, over the top. I have one that is like a tiny 2-cup one, which I really like if I'm trying to grind up, let's say, graham crackers to make a graham cracker crust. It's the perfect size. Oreos, anything that needs to be like crumbly, even if you just want nuts, anything like that. And then I have my bigger one, which I use, of course, you know, the other day I posted on Instagram that I had made pumpkin scones. The entire recipe is done in the food processor, and that's the best way to make scones, pie crust, anything like that, because you don't want to touch the butter. You want the butter to stay nice and cold. But it's also great. One of the things I love it for is for cheese, weirdly enough. So with a food processor, you can get a plate. It actually comes with it. It's a shredder plate. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you buy pre-shredded cheese, it comes with this dust that's on top of the cheese. I don't know what it's called, but it's essentially like wood pulp is what it is, like wood pulp. And it keeps the cheese from sticking together. I mean, so there's that. So we always buy the blocks of cheese. We buy Tillamook. We are a Tillamook family forever. What I will do is when I get home, I'll cut it into smaller sizes that'll fit in my food processor, and then I'll put the shred plate on and then just put it through. And then I have perfectly fresh shredded cheese that doesn't have wood shavings or wood pulp or whatever it is on it. And it tastes a lot better. And it melts a lot better. And it's just all around better. I'm not a fan of pre-shredded cheese. I know that sounds like but it's also great too, as I mentioned before, if you're making any baked goods that require the butter to be very cold, such as pie crust or scones or anything like that, because you can use that shredder disc with your butter. If you have frozen butter and you put it through the shredder disc, You're going to get super small pieces of butter that's going to incorporate so nicely into your mix so that you have like flaky pie crust, you have really nice scones, you have good muffin mix. I mean, whatever you're using it for, that's something that I use a lot. I didn't think that I would use it as much as I do, but I definitely use it a lot. Those are the things I'm going to talk about today, but those are my big things that I think everyone should check out if you're trying to get into cooking, if you like to cook at home, but like you don't like the mess, you don't like the big fiasco. These are the things that I totally recommend. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Ted from Chopped will come out from he'll come through your front door after you make steak with the Anova, and then you sear it. And he'll shake your hand because he'll be so impressed with your skills. And you'll be like, this took no effort at all.